Yeah. Hello and welcome, everyone. So today I'm sharing this important tool, financial information and organizing document kit. So it's so important that everyone of us make use of it. It's very simple. It's not going to take half an hour to more than half an hour to 1 hour, but it's very important that we have our information organized for us. So here I'm sharing what you need to do. So first you need to write the
Hello.
names of your family.
Hello.
Akosha, you can, I think, mute yourself.
दैट एक्सा रोड वाला जो बंदी बैठती थी उधर वो सेंटर ही बंद कर दिया हम लोगों ने।
यहाँ पे भी है ना और स्टेशन के पास
बहुत सारी जगह पर है। नाउ आई हैव टू गो।
Akosha,
मैंने
you
अपना
can
वहाँ
mute
पे करवाया
yourself.
था।
पर आई हैव चेंज द एड्रेस ना, तो यस तो उसका आ भी गया।
Yeah, I didn't know I can do that. Now I've done. Okay, so here the second thing is important context for family. So you need to have one copy for yourself, one copy for your spouse, and one copy with your trusted family member. If you trust like your father, your friend, so one copy you can have with them as well, or your financial advisor. So in case of emergency or something, now you will not be panicking. You will be having all the information, all the financial information that you may need. So here the contact details for family, your contact detail, your family doctor, your advisor, lawyer. So most of the time we have our lawyer, doctors, but most of the times male handle it, women's don't know, and we also don't want to know. So, but it's important in case something happen or we must know all these things. Knowing is important. Whether we will be using it or not using it, that is not so important. So here the first step we have to take is to like have this ready, have it handy. So all the important contacts for family, and you can also add it. You can add some of the things. If you have more contacts, more persons to go with, you can add their names. And here then you need to have your bank account details. So most of the times well, our spouse also has bank account, but we don't know the password. In case they don't want to share, don't force, but it's a good idea to have your account numbers, the nominee if you have registered, mail ID. So in case anything happens, you know where your money is, how much you are having, and where all you are having the money. And then these are the important financial documents that you need to have, like pen, passport, like yours also and your husband's also. All the data you need to have here. And the thing is, now you need to keep it safer also, because all your data is here. You can't make it online. So you need it to be like you can print it out once, and may not be having the soft copy. So it's up to you how you should make sure that this document is safe. So all the important documents and their number and where you have kept it. So many times important documents also we forget where we have kept them. And then there are locker details. If you are having bank locker where your like jewelry or precious things are kept, or if you have with some other person, many a times like in my place also we do that. We don't have locker and we keep with someone else. So many a times our husbands may be knowing, but we may not be knowing. So it's important as a family we know all our finances. And then the online passwords also you need to have a record for that. And then life, health, and other insurance policies. Whatever life, health, and car or any insurance policies you are having, their number, amount, and everything you need to have it. And then your debit and credit card details. Don't put the CVV and all, but the basic details you can have here. And then the property details. So many a times you may have seen our fathers and like they used to buy properties and everything. So you also need to know what all properties are there that can be part of you. First you need to write whatever like you have in your name, your spouse's name, your children's name, and then you may also write, if you wish, what all inheritances are possible. So that's also a good way to look at it. And then the liability detail, if you are having any kind of home loan, credit card loan, or anything, if you have pledged to, so you need to write those things in liability details. And then investment account details, part 1 that I have written. Here you need to write what all investments you have made in mutual fund, share, FD. So many times our investments are scattered all over the place. Many people have so many accounts, having so many things. So that is another topic of discussion, how to manage all these things. But here we are just keeping a record of everything that we are owning as of today. So you need to write what all if like I have just written mutual fund. So there can be multiple mutual fund. You may write like if it is on several platforms, what is the account number, how much is the maturity, how much amount you have invested. All those details you need to write down here. Your PPF, EPF. So account part 2 I have written like one can be for your husband and another can be for you. If you are having your separate investment and everything, you can provide the details here. And you can add whatever you feel like. So I hope this was useful. Just let me know. So I will be sharing this in the chat box. Deepthi has written, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Aarti. So I will be sharing it. So now let's come to today's topic.
Ketan, I didn't want to share.
In the last session, we have done, okay, let me share the tool as well here. So you can download it and just tell me if it's working or not. So you may share it with someone else if you feel they may also get benefits. So I'm open for it. You may share with anyone if you like, your friends or anybody who can take the benefit of this tool. For today's, our topic is asset allocation and money mistakes to avoid. Asset allocation we have covered in the last session. So here I'm just summarizing it, not going in so much details. So at asset allocation, we have seen is the process of dividing our investment portfolio among different asset classes. So every asset class has different purpose. We have seen equity, gold, real estate, and fixed income in detail in the last session. What is the purpose of each of the asset class and how every asset class is important. It's not if equity is growing, I should put all money in equity, or if I'm so scared, I just have to put all money in FD. So everything has its own role. And we have to identify what is the purpose of our investment. Are we looking for a store of value? Are we looking for recurring income, or are we looking for capital appreciation? Accordingly, we have to choose the asset class. And every asset class has its own role. So you need to look into how you can wisely choose the investment as per your needs. So this actually, I was just making the slide and on the LinkedIn, I found this post from Akshay Srivastava. It was resonating so much. So I have just put his content. So as it is, so that's why I have put his picture also. And you can also follow this guy. He's also good. So he has written like, when you grow your skills, you solve your money problem, money making problem. When you buy gold, you solve your buying power problem. Buying power is like inflation problem. So gold is like a good in storing the value. Whenever inflation will be there, gold will appreciate at least to beat the inflation. So we have seen like from hundreds of years, gold has proven itself to be a good store of value. When you buy stock, you solve your money growth problem. When you buy real estate, you solve your cash flow problems. Like real estate, we are getting the rent and all. So every month we are getting some recurring income. So it's a great source for having passive incomes. And when you buy Bitcoin, you are taking a bet on innovation. The catch here is the bet. You are taking a bet. It's not an asset where many people are making money and losing money. So it's purely in bet. It can be in future a currency for exchange, and it may not be. So every asset you own solves some problem. As we have seen, they are solving some problem. But where the problem comes, people start trading to solve their money making problem. You have maybe heard of many people who are just trading in stocks and speculating and earning some money, and some may be losing. So they feel they will be supplementing their income just by learning how to trade, how to do technical analysis. So many people also come to me, can you teach me this skill? So actually this trading is not for your money making problem. So you need to be very clear why you are doing what you are doing. Buying is stock for solving their cash flow problems. So many a times we see equity market is just going over and over, and we can invest many money in that. And then there may be our living expenses or some cash flows that we need on a regular basis, and we are expecting our equity to give us cash flows. So that is the wrong thing. And buying real estate for massive growth, many a times, like in our grandparents or our parents' time, the things were different. Now the real estate has, I will not say saturation. Real estate is a good point, but you need to see why you are buying it for passive income. So you need to be realistic about it. It should not be that you are looking for massive growth and you are buying real estate for passive growth. As in my previous sessions, we have discussed that home is not an asset. By real estate, if I'm not talking of the home we are living in. That is not an asset, that is a use asset. We have also seen asset is something that is giving us income, not something on which we are doing the expenses. For our house, if we look, this is something that gives us satisfaction, a sense of ownership, and so many emotional things we get attached to it with our house. So it's okay to have house, it's very good to have a house, but don't think your house is your biggest investment. The problem come when we feel our house is the investment. Our house is never an investment. We are not getting any money out of our house. But if we are buying a rental property and we are getting cash flows, we are getting rental income, then this is an asset. And many people think Bitcoin is going to be like a future currency and let me have it more and more. So that is not a thing. You are just completely speculating on it. And if you know what you are doing, you are already on your path of becoming a good investor. So this one thing, if you know why you are buying real estate, why you are buying gold, why you are investing in equity, just by knowing your purpose, like in our life, we know what we are doing, then it gives a lot more sense to us. Same thing in finance also. If we are doing investment, if we know why we are doing this investment, for what purpose, for what goal, then we will be like having so much safety and security and clarity in our life. So I hope till here we have like covered the asset allocation. If you have any queries, you can ask. Then we will move to the next topic. Great. So the next topic is common money mistakes to avoid. So many times we do the money mistakes because we are not managing the money. We are just living in our short-term thinking. We make so many common mistakes. Actually, I have made so many of these mistakes myself. Now I'm learning, I'm improving. So I'm also sharing. And today, as I share, I can't say that I'm not at all making all these things. Still, I am learning, doing, improving. So that's what I also want you to know. First thing is to change anything to have the awareness. So this session is mostly for the awareness. So when we are aware of all the things that we are doing, so there are chances that we are catching ourselves doing that, and we may stop doing all these things in future. So first is short-term thinking. Nowadays in the young generation, I do have like 2 younger sisters, and my niece and all, they are started job. So they call it, you live only once. Whatever money you are getting, You just want to spend it all. You want to have the best of vacation, going out, partying and everything. You are just thinking कि ठीक है आज मुझे मिल गया, अभी बस आज मुझे मेरी जिंदगी जीनी है, अभी कल का तो पता नहीं है, बुढ़े हो जाएंगे तब क्या करेंगे, अभी आज हम जवान है या जो भी है, आज जो भी करना है कर लेते हैं, कल का क्या पता, कल है भी या नहीं भी है. Many a times, and today's generation, I have seen many young people doing this mistake. They feel just we got one life, let's enjoy. So this is also a short-term thinking. We are just thinking of today, not future. And with this, I will also add one thing. Many people just hoard the money. They will save everything. They will not enjoy. So they will, whatever other things are, they will just spend on their need, not anything on the want. So both the things are not good. Overspending or like this misery thing, the kanjusi wali thing. So both the things are not good. Both are not sustainable. You need to have a proper balance. And that actually we have seen in the budgeting part also. So this thing I think I will cover one more time. And yeah, so the thing is spending. Oh, I have written opposite actually, spending before investing. It's investing or saving before spending. Sorry for that. So short-term thinking is like you are spending, yeah, or maybe it's right. You are spending before investing. Like you are not saving whatever money you are getting. Let's say if you are getting 1 lakh and you are spending the whole month, and later you will see if you are having anything, you will save. If you are going by this approach, the chances are you will never have money for your goals or for your savings. And this short-term thinking often lead to impulsive decision. So because of the fear, greed, or we neglect long-term goals. And here I also want to, this is like a very interesting topic. I just want to go a little deeper in this. So first we need to understand the trap, because there will always be more wants than the resources you will have. So actually I will also share, like when I got married, my husband's salary was decent, but as his salary was increasing, we were thinking, okay, what's the point of saving now? We will be saving 2, 3, 4,000. Let's enjoy it. Sometimes let's go out. What's the point of saving 2, 3, 4,000? So when you will be earning more, we will be saving more. But the pattern has continued for 10 long years. We were just spending the money, not saving. And every time, he's getting good raise in his company. He was earning fine. But we were not able to have more money, because this is a kind of a habit. The second point I have written, the way you do one thing, you do everything. This is actually a quote from Warren Buffett. Like if you are spending, you are in the habit of spending first, there will always be more things to buy, more things to do. And if you don't learn to manage it today, you will never gonna learn it to, not never, you will not be doing in future. There are high chances of it. So making more money will not have you will not help you have the freedom. It's by the managing your money you can have the freedom. For that you need to budget responsibly. You have to think long term. You have to start budgeting for your needs, your wants and aspirations. So when we talk about the budgeting or tracking the expenses, many a times we attach the negative emotions to it. So it's very important that now we look at from a different perspective. When we are doing budgeting, when we are managing our money, you should think, I'm doing it to have the financial freedom. I'm doing it because it's sooner going to give me the financial freedom that I want. I'm going to be richer sooner. So when we think long terms, our life becomes simpler. And the next mistake we do is like we ignore inflation and taxes. Inflation is like if I'm buying something like say tur dal for 100 rupees 2 years back, now it's 200 rupees. So the price is rising. So this price rise is called inflation. So many a times like we do the FD investment or any investment in any investment that is not having good returns, chances are inflation is eating your money. Like if you are earning 5% on 100, you are earning just 5 rupees, 105, and inflation is 6%. Like you need 106 rupees to buy a certain thing that was 100. But even after investment, you are having just 105. So you are losing the money. You are not earning anything on it. I hope I am able to clear it. If you have any question, you can raise. And tax is also the important part. Many times we just see, okay, now FD is also giving 8%, but that is taxable. 30% or 20% of your income is going in the taxes. So planning for tax efficiency is as important as like earning good returns. So both the things are important. These are the secret things that eats our money actually. We may feel okay, मैंने 1,000 रुपए तो बचा लिया, but that 1,000 is losing its value just by keeping it in our locker or somewhere if we are not invested wisely. And then this new trend, not new actually, now so it is from last 10-20 years, and even we have done it for so long, is spending money you don't have. So we matlab how we spend money that we don't have. Suppose like in my account, if I'm having just 20,000 and I want to buy an iPhone of 70,000, can I do it? Yes, of course, I can do it with the credit card options. I have to just pay it 15,000 or 10,000, and now the no cost EMIs are also there. These are offering appliances and everything that we can buy. Right now, we are not having that much amount, but we can still buy with the EMIs. So we do the excessive spending and we buy the things that we can't afford. They may these schemes make things lucrative, and we often fall in the trap of all these things. And also these ads now, to at another level, we get so much convinced because of the glamour, and they made the glamorous needs in us. We may not be needing it, but by seeing a ad or by in our seeing somebody in our social circle, we start to feel, okay, this is so good, I also need it. And you can also feel that you can also afford it by taking it on EMIs, and you are trapped forever. It's not for one thing, it's actually a habit. Once you do it, every time you are gonna do it, and it will be more and more and more.
It's a cycle, right, Shweta?
Yes. And this all happens because of the lack of budgeting. Because we don't budget and we don't know what actually we want. We are not having the goal planning. Because we are not having the clarity, we don't think long term, and then we are in the trap of this short term thinking. Because we always have so many things, and we just pray to the God whenever, like from childhood only, we see ourselves, because our parents have given us so much, but some of the things they may have denied us. And then we got married and we started earning money, or our husbands are giving us money. We obviously want to do everything that we were not able to do. But short-term thinking will not solve the problem. So we have to think of the long-term thinking, and budgeting is a good tool to do that. And then the ego. This is the very interesting thing. Many a times we feel we don't operate from ego, but more often than not, we operate from the place of ego. We want to show the world some better side of ourselves, or we want to show ourselves some of the thing that we are not. With many people, this thing happens. And because many times we want to own something, a car, a dress, or a nice house, not for ourselves, just to have a good social status, just to show to our friend, or just to feel good about it. Ourself also. Not to somebody else, but many times to ourself also. Okay, I will be feeling good if I'm having a 3 BHK house in this city. So that was one thing I was having. I was not comparing with anyone, but I wanted to have that because it make me feel good. And so many times, I think you all have experienced this one thing in some point of your life. You may have end up buying something that you may not need, but buy because you are seeing someone, or you want to show it to yourself or somebody else. So we do all this buying. So
Actually, nowadays ego is so much common, Shweta, that sometimes we don't even understand that we are operating from our ego only.
Yes, yes, yes. That's so true.
That is
Even
the
until
thing.
I learned this topic, I used to feel ego is something different. But
Yeah.
then when I learned in this perspective, I was also reflecting back, okay. Because earlier, whenever I used to see anybody wearing so nice dresses and everything, I was like very much in awe, and I always wanted to do that. And then sometimes you will spend, if you are thinking so much, you will have all these things in your life.
Yeah, correct. We can't
So
say we don't have ego. Somewhere or the other, we have ego.
yes, yes. And how to manage it? So you need to
Yeah,
differentiate
that is.
between genuine aspirations and goals based on ego. So like we did one exercise related with goal planning. I'm not sure how many of you have done. Vaishali has given me the sheet. Kosha has given me the sheet. Others have not given me. And Anjali has given. 3 people have given me that sheet. So the purpose of that exercise is to know your genuine aspirations. When you know in life what you want in short term, medium term, and as well as in long term, you are having so much clarity. So you will be knowing what is important in your life. And there are less chances कि your decision will be biased more for the ego. Still, there may be some instance, but that is okay. But most of the time, you will be knowing what is the priority in your life. What are your goals? So don't let your ego drive your money decisions. This is so important. And for that, managing money and having a financial planner all is so important, because alone we can't do it, but with the help of someone we can obviously do it. Just a sec. So Kosha is asking about inflation, I think. Okay, let me just go to that inflation. So inflation is the rise in the price. Let's say if you are buying what anything, let's say if you are buying something like, let's say moong dal only, you are buying today moong dal for 150 rupees a kg. Next year it is costing 100, take it 100 to make it easy. So you are buying moong dal for 100 rupees, and then next year it's going to increase by 6 rupees. So next year, if you have to buy the same 1 kg moong dal, you will be buying it for 106 rupees. So there is price rise of 6 rupees in that. So your 100, you can say the price is rising, or you can say your money's value has decreased by 6%. So you are able to buy less quantity of moong dal in 100 rupees. So money is the same, but because of the time, because of the inflation, the things has become costlier and your money now values less. And yeah, Kosha, is it clear? I know. And this one thing, I have made so much mistake in that, not understanding that most purchases have hidden cost. So this was actually one Balwan moment for me when I learned this thing. So hidden cost can significantly impact your overall cost of purchase. It's essential to factor these costs into your financial decisions. Like suppose if you are buying a car, it is not 5 lakh or 7 lakh or 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 20 or 25 lakh that you are spending one time on the car. So there are associated costs that we don't figure it out, because whenever you are buying a car, you are also buying insurance, you are also paying for repairs, fuel, and car is a depreciating asset. So every year the value is also depreciating. That is also an expense for you. And whenever you are having a good car and you are upgrading, you also want to go for more outing. That is also one hidden cost. And for house also, registration fees. House, if you are buying a house, it is not just the house. With house, we are paying the registration fees, we are doing the interiors, we are buying the furniture, property taxes we are paying, insurance we are having, maintenance we are having. So we have to consider the whole cost, not just the cost that we are just seeing on the face value. And clothes, hidden costs for clothes include like alterations. Sometimes when we buy some dresses, this actually happens with me so much, so I have written my thing. We want matching shoes, bags, jewelry. And sometimes when we have some nice dress, we want to go for some special outing or some dinner. Or sometimes like we want to have photo shoot. This happened actually with me for my sister's wedding. I bought a nice white gown. I was hoping I'll do some great photo shoot, but because of the kids and all, I was not able to do that. So now I was thinking, okay, whenever I'll go home, I'll get that, and then here I will have some nice photo shoot. So with dresses, clothes, if we are buying, so there are so many hidden costs as well. So whatever you are buying, you have to look from the broader perspective. It could be anything else in your case. So I have just written some to give the clarity. I hope this is clear. This is actually very important to understand. And then the next mistake, not creating a margin of safety. This actually I have covered in earlier session as well, but again I'm repeating because this is so important to have emergency fund, your health insurance, your life insurance in place, basically to guard yourself before you start wealth creation. Many a time we feel कि क्यों यार liquid fund में डालना, क्यों ठीक है insurance में डालना, we ignore all these things. So I request you all, please don't do that. First guard yourself, then start your wealth creation journey. You will be more peaceful, you will be more and more secure if you do this. So there can be anything. Life is uncertain, that is why it is life. So we need to provide for all these things. Like there can be a loss of income, there can be a medical emergency, there can be some non-negotiable expenses that we have to do. So it's very important. And then this myth, believing that investing is an overnight route to success. Many times we feel, okay, abhi to maine investment start kar diya, now I'm putting my money in equity also. Abhi to main bas ameer hone wali hu. So this is also one big myth. It is gonna take time. Compounding take times. It needs discipline. It needs consistency. It requires your patience. And it's important to understand that wealth building takes time and consistent of effort. And this I have read from somewhere about Warren Buffett. He buys these companies and he will hold on he will hold on to the same company for quite a long time. And this was his secret for making money. And then I think Bill Gates only asked him, your strategy is so successful and so simple, why most people are not following this thing? And then he said so beautifully, because everyone wants to get richer quickly. They don't want to become richer slowly. That's why not many people are following it. But if you really want to create and have good wealth, you need to go slow. You need to be consistent and like making it a habit. And let the compounding take over. And compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. The who understand it earns it, he do not, who doesn't pays it. Albert Einstein also understood this and he said it so beautifully. And thank you so much for putting efforts to take charge of your money. I'm so proud of you, each one of you. Like you are motivating me also to do all the things, and I'm feeling so proud of each one of you. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. And I hope you all have been able to receive this financial information tool. Have you all downloaded? Give me a thumbs up.
Hey, Shweta, you haven't shared the tool with us.
You have not got? Okay, okay. Oh, I didn't I didn't click the send button only. Sorry, so sorry.
You have.
So sorry.
Yeah, you haven't shared up.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, now I have sent just download that.
Yeah.
I have put in my chat box and forgot to just okay, I just stop the recording.